as the 4 seed to be able to play in Indianapolis. It doesn't always work that way. Obviously, they pick the sites, way before you get to the selection part of it in a particular year. So, yeah, just a great opportunity for us, but it's a big challenge, right? To play a team as great as Houston with a great coach. And sometimes you play people and their guards are good or their bigs are good. These guys, they have it all, and they have a great bench, and they're deep, and they're great on offense, they're great on defense. So it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Matt, why has Jakari been able to assert himself so much as a rebounder here in the last few games?
I think it's been great for everybody. It's just not been him. Cam Heide, Miles Colvin, Trey had his best game with 15 rebounds. So, just everybody being able to do it. But no, it was good to see Jakari. He had it in the first game there in the tournament where, he hadn't really played as much, and we put him in and just didn't take him out because it seemed like he was getting every rebound.
You guys, it seems like in this tournament, you're the hunted. Everybody wants to get the top seed. Now, kind of the underdog when you think about it. You've been a 4-1. How good is that for your team, though, to come in and just knowing that a lot of folks are counting us out here?
Yeah, well, for us, we don't really look at that. The challenge is hard enough in itself. Keep your focus on your next opponent, keep your focus on yourself, and just worry about that. And we were going to have to rebound the basketball here. We're going to have to take care of the basketball and rebound the basketball. If you can't do those two things against Houston, you're going to lose. And it's real simple, but that's easier said than done. We got to be able to embrace that physicality, but also the quickness, the depth, the length that they have. I think that needs to be the focus. A lot of times when you're a 1 seed or a 4 seed or whatever it might be, that kind of goes out the window at this point.
Trey's development as a decision maker and a passer, having the ball in his hands more, how valuable is that when you're facing a number 1 defense?
Yeah, it's very important for us. We have another place to go with the basketball. Obviously, Braden Smith is one of the best assist guys in the country. But for him to be able to get the basketball, whether that's a post-up or into that short roll, and then just make good decisions. Because at times it's one-on-one, and other times they're really bringing heat with their double team.
Matt, what's it going to be like just to go up against Kelvin once again? Obviously, you guys had a couple battles back in the day when he was out here.
Well, I think it's just, different teams. And obviously, I think we've both evolved as coaches. And for them, I think their evolution has been from an offensive standpoint. They're elite offensively and they're elite defensively. To be the number 1 3-point shooting team in the country and have the best defense in the country, it speaks volumes, right? It speaks volumes. So, just trying to get better. I think that's what he's been able to do at their program, and just be elite in terms of winning games, and that's what we have tried to do in ours.
Just going back to rebounding for a second, it was obviously a concern for you guys the whole year, and you've been much better at it recently. Was there any reason that you can point to that switch flipped at the end of the regular season there?
We've just given more. Our effort's been better, and but it's also we haven't rebounded like that against Houston. I mean, keep it in perspective. This is our biggest challenge, and I know a lot of people talked about maybe us overscheduling, but when you got to play Houston right now, you love your decision to overschedule, in which we didn't. We scheduled the best of the best, like Auburn could win it all, right? Texas A&M is one of the best rebounding teams in the country. The way they attack the glass. And so you look at Ole Miss and you look at Marquette and you look at all these different people that you played. Well, now when you have to play Houston and you have this challenge, you have that experience of playing. And that's what I said when we walked out of the gym there when we played Auburn. I just said, we got to fight our asses off to get this chance again to face somebody of this caliber and be more ready. And that's where we are. And we'll see. You can sit there and get interviewed all you want. It doesn't matter. The players play. And we have to do a good job of taking care of the basketball. We got to do a good job of making good decisions.
Thank you, gentlemen. I got to take them. Okay. Sorry.
Thanks, Matt.
Love that.